welcome to the Tavern Chat Podcast. I am your host, Eric Tenkar. You're a bartender in the OSR, the main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. This is episode number 45. It's going to be a bit of a hodgepodge. I've got voicemail, email, comments. I want to get to some of the communications I've gotten over the last day or so. And then talk about an upcoming one-day con here on the in the Northeast in September, and see what else we can squeeze in to our normal dozen minutes or so. So I guess without further ado, let's drop in on the voicemail.
Hey Eric, I totally agree with the way you and your buddies in the mountains handled rolling for psionics. I know many accidental re-rolls and stuff ended up with me and my friends when we were first playing with that too. The astounding amount of psionics in our little group. But good episode, enjoyed it, and yeah, you're right. You should probably cover Unearthed Arcana by itself. That's a good book.
Thank you, Larry, for the kind words. Yeah, re-rolling was a big thing. It's amazing how many of your fighters and rangers and paladins all had 18 exceptional strength, always at least 51 or better, because really, if you're going to roll exceptional strength, why should it be barely exceptional half the time? I mean, it's all exceptional. Yeah, there's a lot of re-rolling going on in the Pocono Mountains back in my my ute. But yeah, so we had a further comment. It was on the Facebook side, and it said that one of the biggest problems with the Unearthed Arcana wasn't really the content, although the content had its issues, but it was more the binding. The books tended to not hold up to use. I don't know if it was totally the book's fault or if it was the fact that we used the shit out of it. I mean, I think we referred to the Unearthed Arcana when we did the Player's Handbook once it came out. It was, I guess we call it a Munchkin book, but if you were a Munchkin, if you wanted to squeeze the the juice out of your new player character, you had to use the Unearthed Arcana. Now, one thing I'm going to refer to since we're talking about the Unearthed Arcana is that the whole section on polearms, man, totally worthless, totally useless. But a passion of Gary's is what I'm assuming, and that's why it's in there. But even as a kid, I was like, oh, why do we care about polearms when aren't they kind of useless in a dungeon? I mean, I understand using them in formation on the battlefield, but in a dungeon, even a short halberd isn't very useful. But I digress. So, all right. Next, we will tap to the email. Hey. All right. So, got an email from Anthony, sometimes known as the Wall Street Wizard. Truth in Advertising. Tony has been a friend of mine since high school. He was part of my original long-term gaming group through high school and college, and part of the group that still gets together once a year in memory of a friend we lost on 9/11 for next same group. In any case, yeah, Tony sent me an email, and the email is awesome, but hey, the podcast is awesome. Great content, OSR news, Kickstarters, interviews, OSR history and game evolution, etc. Was interested to listen to your 1E and OD&D episodes. Was interesting, sorry. GM rolling for character stats, well, never heard of that one before. And your views on the Thief class and the Ranger class for first edition, for example. And I like how each day is a different topic, and for me, a nice surprise to see what each day's topic is after it downloads. But it might also be cool if certain days had a theme, like every Tuesday is Kickstarter, or reviews of newly released content, for example, like you said you might do in the future. Yeah, I think the Kickstarters are going to be covered on Tuesdays. I'm going to try to make that, unless, of course, something more important and exciting kicks in which case we'll go with something else and kick Kickstarter that week to like Wednesday. But we'll get to it. As for reviews, I might cover new releases, and I find I don't know if I'll do necessarily in-depth reviews because they're hard to do in the spoken manner. Because I do this all off the cuff, and a review off the cuff is going to be all over the place. I don't know about that, but I appreciate the kind words, Tony. Tony listens to the podcast on his way to work in the morning, so that makes me feel good. The dog is getting excited. All right, I'm going to come back. Alrighty, I think our doggy is quieted down. So now we're going to go on to a comment left on the blog about Unearthed Arcana. Yeah, Kevin says, actually, putting the new character creation method in the DM section follows the general structure of AD&D. The original character creation methods were in the DM's guide, not the player's handbook. I remember being shocked to find out that 3d6 in order was not one of the official creation methods in 1E. Then I found out that the DMG was published after the player's handbook and figured that the old method was carried on because people didn't find out you were supposed to be using high-powered stat generation methods until the DMG came out. Until then, they were using the new classes and monsters with their old 3d6 method, which is actually very interesting because, to be honest, we wound up using, I think, 5d6, which when you think about it, with the average being 66 with Generation Method 5, we were still under the power curve of Unearthed Arcana. But that's what we were using before UA, and a lot of times after UA. Just because you seem to need high stats in these games. Makes sense they were written. So, all right, so that's catching up with communication. One quick side note. Episode 44, well, the day episode 44 released, yesterday, we had 299 downloads. It's a new high watermark. So thank you, everybody, for getting the word out. Thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. We can only get better. And that's what we strive for. All right. So, last thing before I deal with the sweltering heat here in New York City. It's going to be, I think, mid-90s today and 100 tomorrow, Sunday. Yahoo! ShireCon, September 22nd, 2018, in the Berkshire Mountains of Connecticut. It's a one-day convention in Fales Village, Connecticut. If you want to get more information on it, you go to the throwygames.com website, Throwy, THROWI, games.com. Throwy Games, one word. That's Tom Wilson's site. Tom is the one that's organizing ShireCon. ShireCon's going to have about, I don't know, I think we're maxed at just under 100 people. It's a one-day con. It's going to have 2 game slots. If you are in the area, if you can make it as a drive, I think Rach and I, for us, it's going to be like a 2 hour and 15-minute drive. We're going to try to come out on Saturday, get a hotel, check it out at the hotel, Sunday morning, go to the con. Penciled in game plan right now is that I'm going to run a game in the morning and just kind of hang in the afternoon, so we shall see. The big get for the con is Jeff Talanian. He'll be there. He'll have a table, so you'll be able to grab some Astonishing Swordsmen, and he'll also be running a game of Astonishing Swordsman and Torches of Hyperborea. So, it should be a good day. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Far be it for me to forget myself, right? I'm going to brag. I'm actually listed with Jeff. We're the notable guests. And it's to be recognized on the same level as Jeff is very. It's humbling because I am not at that level, but it really is. It's an honor. So thank you, Tom, for putting me on that little list with somebody like Jeff. It's $10 for the day. I've got my badge. Rach has her badge. Teens, I believe, 13 to 17. 13 to 17. Oh, for Saturday. Okay, now I'm confused. All right, I gotta talk to Tom about that. But in any case, it's $10 a day for attendees. If you're, I don't know if there's any more vendor slots available. Oh, there's one more available. Look at the site. One more vendor slot available according to this. And there's room for volunteers. It should be a good day. It's going to be old school gaming. It's going to be some modern gaming, I guess. But it's nice to have something fairly local to the New York City metropolitan area where I can actually drive to and not have to fly to and get my game on with people from my community. So if you're listening, you've got time. You've got time to get into your ShireCon. So, all right, folks, I'm going to tap out. Take the dog for a walk before the heat gets unbearable. Before I have to hunker down on my AC for the rest of the day. And stay safe. God bless. Roll those dice well. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Be good.